Gen Z was told they could become anything, but now many feel like they have to become everything. Successful early, emotionally healed, financially independent, attractive, disciplined, creative, and somehow never fall behind. This video is not here to attack Gen Z. It is here to explain why so many young people feel lost in a world that gives them endless choices, but very little peace. Feeling lost is not always laziness. Sometimes it is a natural response to constant comparison, online judgment, unstable futures, AI anxiety, and too many versions of success being shown every day. By the end, you may understand why identity feels so heavy now, and why not knowing who you are yet does not mean you are broken. Imagine waking up. Before you even brush your teeth, you open your phone. Someone your age is already rich. Someone has the perfect body. Someone is building a business. Someone is in a perfect relationship. Someone has already found their purpose. And there you are, still trying to understand your own life. Before your day even begins, you feel late to a life you have not even started. That's the quiet pressure. No one has to directly say you are behind. The phone says it for them. Every morning, every scroll, every perfect face, every person who seems to have a clear direction. And slowly your own life starts feeling unfinished in the wrong way. But here is the part most people miss. Gen Z is not lost because they have no options. Many feel lost because they have too many. Too many paths, too many identities, too many lifestyles, too many people to compare with, too many versions of who they are supposed to become. One video tells you to chase money. Another tells you to slow down. One person says discipline will save your life. Another says rest is the real success. One side says grind harder. Another says protect your peace. And both sound true for a moment. That is what makes it confusing. Gen Z is not careless about the future. Many care so much that choosing one direction begins to feel impossible. They are trying to choose a life while every possible life is being advertised to them. That is not freedom. That is pressure wearing the mask of choice. The deeper issue is that identity today is not just lived. It is displayed. Before, you could change quietly. You could try a new style, change your opinion, make mistakes, outgrow a phase, become someone new without turning it into a public event. But now, identity has screenshots. Old posts, old captions, old photos, old versions of you that still exist online. You post one opinion at 16, at 20 you change. But the internet still holds the old version like evidence. So changing can feel risky. People may ask, didn't you used to be different? Are you being fake now? And slowly, self-discovery becomes self-marketing. You do not just ask, who am I? You ask, how does who I am look to other people? That question is exhausting, because now your identity has to be lived and packaged, felt and posted, explored and explained. Everyone online looks branded, but real people are not brands. Real people are unfinished. And then there is the future. Gen Z is not just choosing a career. They're choosing it while wondering if AI will erase it before they even begin. They are being told to plan their future in a world where the future keeps changing its rules. They are not just trying to make money. They are trying to survive rent, debt, inflation, competition, and the fear that stability is disappearing. They are not just trying to make their parents proud. They are trying to explain a world their parents may not fully understand. A world where a degree no longer guarantees safety. A world where attention feels like currency. A world where even your hobbies can start feeling like something you should monetize. So identity is no longer just, what do I like? It becomes, what can I become that will survive? And maybe this is the real crisis. Gen Z is not only trying to find themselves, they are trying to find themselves under pressure. Picture a student sitting in class, the teacher is talking, but their mind is somewhere else. Will this degree matter? Will this job exist? Will I disappoint my parents? Should I learn AI? Should I start something online? Should I already know what I'm doing? People may call them distracted, but inside they are not careless. They are scared. Scared of choosing wrong, scared of wasting time, scared of becoming someone they never wanted to be. They are physically in the room, but mentally they are fighting 10 futures at once. Now picture that same person lying in bed at night. The room is quiet, but the phone is glowing. They scroll through perfect identities, the gym person, the rich person, the spiritual person, the productive person, the healed person, the person who seems to have a life theme. And after a while they look at themselves and think, what is my thing? Not who am I, but what is my thing? That is how online life changes identity. It turns being a person into choosing a category, and then they try to reinvent themselves. They change their clothes, change their routine, try to become more confident, more quiet, more attractive, more successful. but something feels fake, because every version they try already exists online looking better. So even becoming yourself starts feeling like copying someone else. That is the strange pain of modern identity. You can be surrounded by inspiration and still feel disconnected from yourself. That is the strange pain of modern identity. You can be surrounded by inspiration and still feel disconnected from yourself. But feeling lost does not always mean you are failing. Sometimes it means you are between identities. The old version of you no longer fits, but the new version is not clear yet. That middle space can feel scary. It can feel empty. It can feel like everyone else got a map and you did not. But psychologically, this space is also where a real self can start forming. Not the self you perform, not the self the algorithm rewards, not the self your parents expected, not the self that gets the most likes. The quieter self, the one built through choices, mistakes, private moments, honest questions, and the courage to stop becoming someone just because they look successful online. Identity is not found in one perfect label. It is built slowly, through what you try, what you leave, what you protect, what you stop faking, and what still matters to you when nobody is watching. So maybe Gen Z does not need another identity trend. Maybe they need permission to be unfinished. Permission to grow quietly, permission to change without announcing it, permission to build a life that makes sense in reality, not only online. Because you are not a brand, you are not a trend, you are not late. You are a person becoming, and becoming quietly is still becoming. What do you think makes Gen Z feel more lost? No direction, too many choices, or the pressure to become successful too early? Comment your thoughts below.